Okay, so we are going to now cover another type of word problem. I talked about it a little bit yesterday, at the last time I did the first word problem we did. This one, let's read it first. Nicholas drives west in his cute Subaru wagon at 40 miles per hour. He's followed 4 hours later by Sina, who travels 60 miles per hour in her yellow Volkswagen Beetle. How long will it take Sina to overtake Nicholas? All right, if you recall, the other day I gave you 3 scenarios. One was that they started at the same place, at the same time, and they moved in opposite directions. And then the question was how long or whatever did it take them, after how many hours, before they're like 600 miles apart, right? This is 600 miles. They're going in opposite direction. The other one, the second one, was they start in 2 cities that are like 400 miles apart, and they drive towards each other, right? And driving towards each other, again, the question is how long before they meet? Again, their total distance is whatever, 400 miles, and there's this distance plus this distance equals 400 miles, the total miles. This is the third scenario. The third scenario means they are both leaving from the same place, but not at the same time. Same place. The first car leaves at one time and is driving. The second car leaves 4 hours later, but still starts from the same place. And the question is how long will it take Sina to overtake Nicholas? So how long is it going to take Sina to overtake Nicholas? So by the time Sina overtakes Nicholas, look at that. Their distances are identical. So this is D1, this is D2, and our formula will be, once we figure out, we organize the data, D1 is equal to D2. So now this is a little bit different. So let's look at our little chart here. Always create a chart. Always create a chart. It will make a huge difference. All the chart's doing is it's organizing data. And as you get used to doing this, you will find that it will clarify very complicated problems. So we've got Nicholas, and we have Sina. Okay, so we're going to start filling this in. Nicholas drives west, he goes 40 miles per hour. That's a speed, miles per hour. That's rate. All right, so he's going 40. All right, and he is followed 4 hours later by Sina, who travels 60 miles per hour. So her rate is 60 miles per hour. Now we got to look at the time. That's the part that's a little confusing, because really, think about it. How long? They're asking us to find time. So if we're finding time, that means there's going to be an x in here somewhere, right? It's going to be an unknown, because that's what they're asking us to find. So this is where our unknowns is going to be, in this column. But it says he's followed 4 hours later by Sina. All right, so what is it? We can't say their time was identical, because one of them started 4 hours earlier and kept driving until Sina caught up to him. Sina drove 4 hours less and went faster and caught up to them, right? So we got to do something. Now the question is, I have 2 options. I could say, well, I could make Nicholas be x, and then Sina did 4 hours less than Nicholas, right? I could do x minus 4. I wouldn't recommend that. That would work, but then you're going to solve for x, and you're going to think, oh, that x is the answer, but x isn't the answer. If I did that, if I said Nicholas was x and Sina was x minus 4, then I would solve it and I'd get x equals something. Let's say x equals 10 or something, right? And I'll say, oh, great, Sina, it took after 10 hours, Sina did it. No, it would be 10 minus 4 would be 6. So it works, but you're sort of setting yourself up for a potential mistake with your final answer. So what I'd recommend is you look at the last sentence. It says, how long will it take Sina? They're asking about Sina's hours to overtake Nicholas. Let's make Sina x, because that's what we want. Then when we solve for x, we've gotten the answer. We don't have to do one more step after that. All right, so if Sina's x, what would be the time for Nicholas? Well, Nicholas left 4 hours early. Would you agree with me he drove 4 hours more than Sina? Right? Makes sense. So it's going to be Sina's x plus 4. Now let's just multiply it out. Once you get these two columns, all you have to do is multiply them out to get your distance. This will be your d1 and this will be your d2, right? So 40, now this is going to be distributive property. It's 40 times x plus 4. So you're going to have to do 40 times x and 40 times 4. So 40 times x is 40x plus 160, I believe. And then we have 60x here. All right. And we don't know a total distance. We don't need it because look, it's not d1 plus d2 equals total distance. It's just one distance equals the other distance. Like piece of cake. All we have to do is say this equals this. They're exactly the same thing. They left at the same place and they ended at the same place. Their distances are identical. So we're going to go ahead and write that in right here. We're going to say 40x plus 160 is equal to 60x. All right, I'm going to subtract my 40x. And I've got 160 is equal to 20x. All right, I'm going to divide by 20, divide by 20. X is equal to 8, I believe, right? 8. So that tells me, what are we talking about? Are we talking about seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years? I mean, it's a time, right? So we got to go back and see. Let's see. They're going miles per hour. 4 hours later, we're dealing with hours, right? We're dealing with hours. It's really important, by the way, to always make sure your units are the same. Because if I said followed 30 minutes later, you got to convert that to hours. Because we're talking about miles per hour. So you've got to have everything in the right units. So we know it's going to be 8 hours. Now, I cannot do this and say I'm going to get the right answer. I will definitely take credit off. Because that is not how you answer a word problem. A word problem has got to be answered in words. That's just the way it is. So you say, how long will it take Sina to overtake Nicholas? It will take Sina 8 hours to overtake Nicholas. And I put it in a box, and I am done. Makes sense, right? So that is how to do these. So you're going to have a worksheet that will allow you guys to practice these. Okay, thanks guys, that's it.